Hello, happy Monday evening, everybody. My name is Mr. G, your meteorologist, and I'm back with you once again with another video. And in tonight's video, we're going to be talking about the weather forecast coming up for your Tuesday. So as you make your way out the door in the morning to go to work, or go to school, or to do whatever it is you have to do tomorrow, I'm going to let you know what to expect as far as your weather forecast is concerned. And the good news is a lot of you across, especially the Midwest and the center of the country, is going to be enjoying some lovely weather for this time of the year, above average temperatures. Some of you are going to be seeing record highs tomorrow. We're also going to be seeing record low temperatures as well, as far as warm low temperatures. So a lot of places throughout the Midwest and even into parts of the Rockies and the West Coast are going to be enjoying much above average overnight lows and daytime highs over the next several days. So some beautiful weather on tap over the Midwest and over the East as well. We saw a lovely day today, an even better day in your forecast tomorrow, which you'll check it out in just a moment here as we move on to our maps. Our city of the day is going to be Boston again, but my spidey senses tell me I might have done Boston a day or two ago. But this is one area that's seeing a little bit of inclement weather today, and we saw some snow showers just off the coast there, hugging the coast of Nantucket there in Massachusetts, as we have our storm system from yesterday pulling away from the East Coast. Some areas in the East Coast in upstate New York picked up a foot of snow with that last storm system, and we're going to take a look at that in our maps as well. But things are starting to wind down out there, as you can see on this map just over our shoulder. Just take a look over there where Massachusetts is in the northeast. You'll see much of that snow has pulled away from the coastline. You might see a few flakes of white on that map, but overall things are much calmer. The only other area that's dealing with a little bit of inclement weather is up here across the Great Lakes, where we have an Alberta Clipper, and in the Pacific Northwest over near Portland and Seattle, where we're having some rain there for those folks with that atmospheric river continuing to pump those storms into the Pacific Northwest, that plume of tropical moisture coming all the way from the central Pacific. So a lot of moisture still on tap across the West Coast. We're waiting for an even bigger storm that's going to come later in the week, that's going to bring some heavy rain down the coast to California and even into Southern California as well. We're going to be seeing some heavy rainfall. So let's move on to our maps and take a look at what we're going to be seeing across the rest of the country. Alright, so now it's time to take a look at what's happening across the rest of the country as we explore the big picture in our weather forecast for the midweek point as we move forward. And here is our first map up for today, and we're going to be taking a look at our national radar. We do have that Alberta Clipper here across the upper Midwest and the Great Lakes. Some very light snow, so a few inches is going to be possible across parts of Michigan and Ontario, Canada, and the remnants of our East Coast storm, that big low pressure center that's pulling away from the northeast. And we have our storm system here on the West Coast, our atmospheric river, a very potent storm bringing heavy rain from northwestern California through Oregon and up to Washington and even into British Columbia, Canada. So Vancouver is picking up some of that rainfall and mountain snow as well. So a lot of precipitation to be had there on the Pacific Northwest. But the great news is things are nice and dry across the state of California for the most part. The Bay Area down to Southern California, LA, Orange County, and San Diego is going to be having a beautiful day today and another nice day tomorrow. But look at the beautiful weather across the nation's midsection, through the plains, the Rockies, the Southeast, the East Coast, the South, the Deep South here. Beautiful big ridge of high pressure. We got a ridge of high pressure down across the south, another high amplitude ridge across the Rockies and over the northern territories of the U.S., the northern plains and near the Canadian border. So another high amplitude ridge across the west, keeping the weather dry and those temperatures mild and even above normal. So very nice weather across the middle of the country. Here is a look at those current temperatures, thinking of middle of the country. Look how nice it is. Look at those 70s down in Texas. We're looking at 70s down here across central and southern Texas. We're looking at those temperatures in the 60s along the Gulf Coast and temperatures in the upper 50s to lower 60s. We're looking at those nice temperatures across the southeast, those temperatures in the 50s. And in the northeast, we're seeing temperatures in the 30s because we are on the backside of the departing storm system. So we do have some cold air coming down out of Canada. So you are seeing those temperatures in the lower 30s and upper 20s right now. So a bit of cold air across the northeast, but tomorrow is going to be a much better day now that that snow has moved on off the coast. But we're going to be seeing that Alberta Clipper moving across the upper Midwest and the Great Lakes. But look at those beautiful temperatures all the way up through the high plains, those temperatures in the 50s and 60s. And we're going to be also seeing warm temperatures along the west coast through California and even to the Pacific Northwest, Oregon and Washington. So Seattle, Portland, the cities along the coast is going to be having those temperatures in the 50s. So very nice weather on the west coast. A lot of nice weather across the middle of the country and the southeast. The only bad spot, or the only Debbie Downer in this weather forecast, is that leftover cold up there in the northeast and a little bit across parts of the Great Lakes. But look how nice it is across the upper plains. Look at the 45 in Minneapolis right now. 45 degrees in Minneapolis at the end of January. How is that even possible? Unbelievable. Way above average temperatures. Our average temperature right now is 26 degrees here in the Twin Cities. We are 45, almost 20 degrees above average. Very nice. And it's going to be even warmer tomorrow and even warmer on Wednesday. So a very powerful high amplitude ridge is working its way in from the west, pumping that warm air up from the south out of Mexico. So we're going to see very nice temperatures here across the central part of the U.S. this week. And that's going to eventually make its way eastward as the big west coast storm later in the week begins to make its way toward the southern plains, where we're going to start talking about severe weather once again and heavy rainfall. We're going to be talking about snow. We're going to start talking about freezing rain and sleet. So we're going to see that mess come at the end of the week. But for now, enjoy it. Very nice weather for you guys. Very proud. I'm happy for you. So here's our current winds across the country. It's a little bit breezy out there across the upper Midwest and the northern plains. And it's also a little bit breezy across parts of the East Coast, where we're looking at breezy conditions with those winds hitting about 20 miles an hour. And we're also looking at those winds about 20 across the plains in the north and the upper Midwest as well. So again, a little bit breezy out there for some of you folks. Here is your weather forecast for tomorrow morning. This is our big view. And beautiful dry weather from the west coast to the east coast. The exception being this Alberta Clipper with some very light slip across the Ohio Valley and into the Great Lakes. And we're going to be seeing that working its way toward the southeast in the afternoon. That storm system is going to start dropping toward the southeast. And then by tomorrow night, it's going to be out of there. We're going to be seeing all the snow going by tomorrow evening, and that guy is going to be heading on out to oblivion. Dry weather all over the country. I'm starting to wonder if my map is messed up. I think the map might be messed up because that storm system should still be right about here. So I don't think I put any graphics there. But that Alberta Clipper is actually right here, heading off to southeast, and we should have rainfall tomorrow night here across the Pacific Northwest. I'm standing up here like, ooh, this map is a little bit empty, and it's very, very nice that I didn't put in the precipitation. But there is rain showers here across the Northwest, and that little bit of snowfall across the parts of the Mid-Atlantic and the South, the Northeast, just a little bit. It's just a little bit. Alberta Clipper, and that's going to quickly move on out tomorrow evening. So here is our future radar and clouds as that Alberta Clipper zips on through, and we're going to see that guy work on through here on into Wednesday. So that Alberta Clipper is going to quickly blow through with the very light snow, but behind it is going to get rather brisk and going to be a little bit on the chilly side for about a day or so before that warmth starts to move. See the southwesterly winds start to move in on the backside of this? That's going to be that warm-up that we're going to see after a one-day cool down on the backside of that low. Here is the snowfall expected across the Great Lakes, and we're looking at about 1 to 3 inches around Detroit and Saginaw and up in Alpena. So, but everybody else might see less than an inch if you're going to pick up any snow from this activity at all. Now, mind you, Alberta Clippers are typically low in moisture, so the snow is fairly dry, so it's going to be the light, fluffy stuff that you could clean off with a broom, so it won't be heavy snow that you might have to shovel. If you do have to shovel it, it's going to be very light and won't be hard on your back at all. It shouldn't be very light, fluffy stuff. Here is what you can expect your weather forecast for the Ohio Valley tomorrow, and we're going to be seeing that tonight and into tomorrow morning. We're going to see rain showers from northwestern Indiana. So if you are in South Bend or maybe even down to Chicago, and if you are in Normal or eastern Illinois, northeastern Illinois, around Chicago with a temperature of 36, some rain showers. And we're going to see some snow through parts of central and northern Michigan in the Boot area. We're going to see those temperatures in the lower to mid 30s over that way. So some very light snow, some light showers. We have to talk about the atmospheric river on the west coast. We currently have a storm, of course, the Pacific Northwest right now in the Bay of Alaska, bringing heavy snow into Vancouver and British Columbia, heavy rain into the Washington and northern Oregon. So we're going to be seeing that. But later in the week, that's that atmospheric river, the jet stream is going to aim more forward toward the south. By Wednesday and Thursday, we're going to see the atmospheric river into Southern California, where a plume of moisture and heavy rain is going to plow into Los Angeles and Orange County. So we're going to see heavy rain and high winds and heavy surf, as well as another very powerful storm makes its way onto the west coast. Here's what we're going to be looking at with Wednesday as that area of low pressure begins to drop down into Northern California, and it's going to be bringing in that heavy rain into central Southern California. Snow here across the Sierra Nevada and snow across the Southern California mountains. Here is the look at the mountains, the snow that we're going to see. And we're going to be looking at least 2 to 3 inches of rain for the most part. Some areas on the foothills is going to be picking up 3 to 5 inches of rain down here in Southern California. But we're going to be picking up 1 to 2 inches over the Inland Empire and down into San Diego. But less than an inch, a half inch here if you're out over the desert regions. But we're going to see a little bit heavier rain over into Arizona as we get into Friday. And we could even pick up an inch of rain or so in the Phoenix area. And then we're going to start to see snow over the Mogollon Rim. So places like Pinetop, Show Low, Kingman, them places in the mountains, Flagstaff is going to be picking up some snow and some rain in some of the lower elevations. But we're going to be seeing that heavy rain all the way into Northern California and San Francisco and Eureka, Crescent City. We're going to be seeing the areas over there pick up 3 to 5 inches and some isolated spots above 5 inches where you can pick up as much as 8, maybe 9 inches of rain. And we're going to be seeing that heavy rain in the foothills of the Sierra Nevada, but heavy snow over the tops of the mountains above the passes. So we're going to be seeing heavy snow up and down the West Coast. Again, here is that rain in the Pacific Northwest through Tuesday. So Seattle and Portland going to see a lot of rainfall. Dry down into Medford, but you're going to be seeing that rain into Eugene as well. And that rain is going to be inland to all the way to Spokane and Yakima. We're going to be seeing some rain showers over in Seattle, north of the Snoqualmie River there. So we're going to also see that atmospheric river. We're seeing it right now, currently aiming towards the Pacific Northwest. And with that, we're going to see that rain threat with our potential for flash flooding, the likely event of flash flooding here across northwestern California. So Eureka, Ukiah, San Francisco could see the potential, the increasing likelihood that heavy rain will lead to some flash flooding. But we're going to see a chance of flash flooding further down to the south through the foothills of the Sierra Nevadas and the San Joaquin Valley, down through the central coast ranges of California, so down Highway 101, US Highway 1, down to just about Santa Barbara is we're going to see the possibility of some flooding. Then we're going to see high winds in Northern California as well, with our low pressure center being right off the coast of Northern California. So we have our wind advisories. We have a wind advisory. We're going to have a high wind watch in place, where we can see wind gusts up to 50 miles per hour there in northwestern California. So we have numerous wind advisories in place across northwestern, northern California, Tuesday and through Thursday. And then our atmospheric river, once again, there's our jet stream and our plume of moisture, and we're going to see that moisture extended out 3,000 miles out over the Pacific to just south of Hawaii. We're going to be seeing that heavy rain, and that's going to be aiming straight at Los Angeles as we get toward the end of the week. Here is where we're going to be seeing that flash flood possibility over Southern California. So Santa Barbara down to Temecula into Orange County, to maybe near the San Diego County line. I would guess that's about halfway down Orange County. We have the likely possibility that we're going to see some flooding and mudslides in California, in Southern California. But we have the risk for some flooding and mudslides down through San Diego County and over the Mexican border in the Tijuana, where we could see the potential there for flooding. But flooding will be likely over Los Angeles County, western Riverside County, southwestern San Bernardino County, northern Orange County, Ventura County, and Santa Barbara County. We're going to see that potential there for the likelihood of flooding across the state of California. Here is that heavy rain look, and we're going to see the rounds of storms across the state of California, and that's going to be late this week, where we're going to see a couple of storms come through with that heavy rain from Los Angeles, San Diego, across the entire state and into the desert Southwest, and that snow through the Cascade Mountain Range, where we can see several feet of snow. And so runoff from the streams will lead to minor flooding from the heavy rain, and we're going to also see gusty winds with 1 to 2 feet of snow at the pass level in the Sierra Nevadas and in the Southern California mountains as well. So lots of heavy snow to look forward to, and some more heavy rain across the West Coast and the Southwest. Okay, so we're looking at those warm temperatures now, and we're seeing those warm lows and warm daytime highs. It was spectacular today to see those temperatures here in the mid-40s. It was beautiful out here in Minnesota, but we're seeing those warm temperatures on the West Coast, but we're looking at those overnight lows with 100 plus potential new records for warm overnight lows. These are warm temperatures for overnight, where we're going to see 100 plus areas with the potential to set new records. And we're going to be looking at those warm temperatures across the plains tomorrow, all the way up into Nebraska and Iowa, Illinois, Indiana, down through Missouri, Arkansas, Oklahoma, Kansas, Nebraska, Albuquerque, New Mexico, Texas, Louisiana, the deep south as well. We're going to see temperatures in the 70s once again across the state of Texas. 60s making it all the way to nearly Missouri. 60s into Kansas. 60s into Nebraska. 60s into South Dakota and North Dakota. So I'm amazed. This is beautiful weather. All the snow is pretty much melted. It's gone for now. So that area of high pressure is very strong, a very large, expansive, a high amplitude ridge that really is making the current storm over the Pacific Northwest head into British Columbia, and that's going to move into northern Canada. That storm is not going to affect the eastern U.S., but however, the later storm in the later of the week is going to slip in beneath the ridge to the south and slip across the southwest to the southern plains in Texas and along the Gulf Coast before heading up the eastern seaboard by the end of next weekend with a potentially major nor'easter up in the northeast. So we're going to keep tracking that current storm system that's going to be taking aim at Southern California, because that one could produce severe weather across the south as well as heavy snow in the northeast, New England, heavy rain along the mid-Atlantic and the southeastern coast, heavy rain along the Gulf Coast, heavy rain across the southern plains. And it could also produce some freezing rain and sleet. So we could see some mix in sleet and freezing rain across the mid-south. So we're talking Arkansas, Oklahoma, parts of Texas, Missouri, southern Illinois, Indiana, Kentucky, Tennessee, northern Mississippi, northern Alabama. We're talking about North Carolina, Georgia, South Carolina. So we're going to see a lot of areas pick up some freezing rain and ice, and that could extend all the way into West Virginia, parts of Virginia, Pennsylvania, the Ohio Valley, so Ohio, Michigan, parts of upstate New York. And that will be about a week from now. So we're going to keep tracking the weather forecast and keep updating you. I'm going to stay on top of that potential storm that we could see as we head into the weekend. All right, guys? So here is us thinking of Minnesota. I'm going to focus here on Minnesota as we end our video. Minneapolis is going to see the potential for record highs on Wednesday. This says 48. Some models are pushing it over 50. And I wouldn't be shocked to see us hit a 52 or 53 on Wednesday and Thursday. So this would be a record high. So we're going to see the potential for record highs across the state of Minnesota, with that 50 coming in over at St. Cloud, which is further north than Minneapolis. St. Cloud at 50, and we're seeing temperatures right about 50 in Wisconsin. So we're going to see it in North Dakota. Look at Grand Forks, North Dakota, 50 or 44. I'm pretty sure these are being conservative, and that these temperatures are going to shoot past that as we head into that day on Wednesday. But I really think the NOM is being conservative with these temperatures. I think we're going to actually do better than that. So thank you for watching me today, guys. That was the end of today's video. Leave your likes, comments. Please subscribe to YouTube and follow me on TikTok. Have a great day, and I will see you guys all tomorrow. And be nice to each other and be safe out there. Bye-bye.